Welcome back to the Golfbidder YouTube channel. Now, if you are totally new to golf, then this video is going to be really helpful for you.
This is the one for you.
It probably would have helped me when I first started golf, but I couldn't really find anything similar. So this is going to be really useful for those of you that are literally just starting and haven't got any clubs yet.
Normally, you are allowed 14 clubs in a golf bag while you're playing. However, when you're starting off, you don't need that many. You just need the essential clubs, which we're going to talk through with you today, as what we've got in the bag here, the reasons why you would use them, the different lofts.
So we're going to take a look at Russ's little setup that he's got going on here. He's only got 8 clubs in here at the moment. Okay. What have we got, Russ?
Well, we've got the essentials. There's 3 types of clubs out there. You've got the woods, the irons, and a putter. Obviously, the wedges are in the iron set. But yeah, we're going to start off by, what should we look at first?
I think let's start big.
Start big?
Yep.
Talking of Big Bertha. Right, we have gone for a 12.5 degree Big Bertha driver. Now, it's always quite handy to start off with a lot of loft in a driver, just because when you're starting out, you want to feel like you can have a little help getting the ball in the air. So if I was going to build you a bag, I would definitely suggest putting this in the bag. Always look for a little bit of a softer shaft, regular flex. It is quite essential that you do pick kind of a shaft that will fit you, or just getting into it, just get something soft with a lot of loft, just so it helps you get the ball in the air.
The bigger, the more forgiveness, right?
Yeah, I mean, drivers nowadays have changed so much. They used to be the size of this, but now companies have been very generous and they've given you a massive driver head. Goes down to preference. Like, we've got the Big Bertha in the bag, but there are so many bits of kit out there. A little bit more to the driver we have here. A lot of drivers nowadays come with adjustable heads that you can change the loft and the weight of the club. This is quite essential when it comes to getting better in the game, I think, and getting a bit more consistent, because you can start playing around with your lofts. If you want to jump in and get a driver early on with this, is quite good, because as you kind of improve, you get more confident, you can start playing around with whether you want it draw bias, fade bias, if you want to add loft, take loft off. Keep your eyes peeled for drivers like this. A lot of them do come with the adjustables now.
Now let's move on to the Fairway woods.
Fairway woods. Now, coming in is very, very popular now is the 7 wood. However, this one's a 3 wood. They range from 3, 5, you can even get 4, you can get 7, you can get 9, you can get 11. Don't stress,
wood.
You can get an 11 wood, yeah? Very cool, isn't it? It's like you can literally hit it up your nose. No, seriously, I would definitely, when starting out, 3 wood or 5 wood, just focus on them, and then you can start moving your way through. Again, if you end up getting a full set of clubs and you're not quite comfortable with like the 5, the 6, the 4, whatever you get in your set, you can always look at getting more woods.
But 1 wood is great to start off with.
1 wood's definitely great, because when you go from driver, the next club down, you don't really want it to be your 7-iron, just because the gapping is going to be so big. Off the ground, off the tee. Definitely extra distance. You can even put a hybrid in if you like, but I would recommend at the start, get a wood. Driver and a wood, for sure.
Now we're going to take a little look at the irons. Now, actually, when I first started playing, the first club that was actually given to me in my hand was a 7-iron, and that seems to be like the consensus all around, right? That a 7-iron
also if you go to
middle of the barrel.
Yeah, I think so. Like, it's a mid-iron. Again, like the 6, 5, 4, they're quite daunting clubs and they don't have a lot of loft on them. So starting out, I would say avoid those. Just get the 7 to the sand wedge. It doesn't even matter if you go 7, 9, pitching wedge, like whatever. Like, just get those irons, because they are more essential, because you will probably, starting out, you're not going to hit the ball as far. Driver off the tee, 3 wood, closer to the green, and then you're going to start moving from 7-iron down to sand wedge. You're not really going to be looking at 6-iron, 5-iron just yet. So yeah, I would definitely suggest, we've got a set of irons here. They are the Callaway Steelhead X14 irons, and we have got 7 to sand wedge. That is 5 irons. That is all you need while starting out. You'll go to a driving range and they'll have a demo bag, and it will pretty much just be 7 irons. Quite possibly have some wedges in there, pitching wedges or sand wedges, but 7 and a pitching wedge, start hitting those. They are the most essential irons in the bag, I would say.
I still pretty much only have these irons.
Yeah, I mean, you do have a 6-iron, but again, you prefer to use your hybrid, which is a common thing. So it's like, don't be afraid to put a hybrid in the bag once you start getting a bit more confident, but practice with these irons, because they are essential. They are going to be clubs that you are going to use a lot during your round of golf.
So when we take a look at the irons in the bag, I'm going to pick out the 7, 8 and 9 here. As you can see, stamped on the bottom of them is 7, 8 and 9. There's a little line under the 9, obviously, because you can get a 6 iron too, so there'll be a line under the 6
and
iron.
I promise you, I have made the mistake before when I was starting of hitting the 9 thinking it was a 6 or hitting the 6 thinking it was a 9.
Absolute disaster.
It's a nightmare.
And the reason that is a disaster is because these are designed to go a certain distance. So as you kind of come down the numbers, this is what should happen. When you start to get a little bit more consistent when you are hitting your irons and you're going to the driving range a lot more, you'll see this happening. That as you go down, so the 7 iron should go further than the 8 iron, the 8 iron should go further than the 9 iron, and so on and so on. Moving on, after you've kind of had a look at the 7, 8, 9, we've had a little look at those. After the 9 iron, you move on down to a pitching wedge, which will either be stamped with a P or it'll have a PW on it.
You'll use these wedges. You can get a variation of wedges. I mean, when you start getting a bit more consistent in the game, you'll start noticing as well when you go shopping, there are hundreds and hundreds of wedges out there that are stamped PW, G, P, A, S. Then you'll start getting into lofts like 46, 48, 50, 52, all the way up to 64 I've seen. Ignore all that. When you're getting into the game, focus on P and the S wedge. Really, that is all you're going to use around the greens. So normally a pitching wedge is going to be about a 48-degree club in the bag. Sand wedge is going to be ranging from 54 to 56 degree. They do have a difference. You can see the sand wedge is sitting a lot more open and facing up into the air. You're going to use both these clubs around the green a lot for pitching wedge, for more so with the bump and run shots, or if you're a bit more confident with chipping it onto the green with a pitching wedge. Sand wedge out of bunkers, definitely, because the pitching wedge sometimes doesn't have enough loft to get the ball out of the sand. And also if you've got those tricky shots around the green that you need to send the ball up a bit higher.
I actually have a question.
Oh, okay.
Is a sand wedge actually designed for bunkers? Because it's called sand
Yeah, because
wedge.
of the amount of loft that's in it.
I never really knew, because you don't always use it in the bunker.
Yeah,
so it's not like specifically designed
I have a
bunker wedge.
58 degree, so that's borderline lob wedge for me, but I will sometimes use 54 depending on how far I've got to hit it. So yeah, I guess sand wedge being the 56 degree, called the sand wedge, a lot of people will use it out of bunkers, but I wouldn't suggest that it has to be used out of bunkers.
No.
If you're confident with hitting something else out of a bunker, hit something else out of a bunker and then leave the sand wedge in the bag. If you're more confident with hitting the sand wedge out of the bunker, obviously use the sand wedge in the bunker. But round the greens, this will just create a lot of variation for shots, whether you want that higher lofted chip shot, lower lofted chip shot, bump and run. Again, you can then move into your irons. Like there's no right or wrong when it comes to chipping. It is very, very preferential, whatever you're comfortable with.
And depends on your lie.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice. Yeah, so wedge family, there are plenty of them. There are also some sick wedges out there.
Yeah, there's some really cool ones. And you can get them stamped out.
You can get them stamped out there. So when you move away from that beginner set, Golfbidder, you want to see their wedge collection. I'm telling you, get down there. It's like Wonka's factory of wedges.
Wonka's wedge factory.
Wonka's wedge factory. Right, anyway, after the wedge set, we're now moving on to possibly the most important club in the bag.
The bit everyone hates practicing, but is probably the most essential.
The putter. And we have one of the best classics in the bag, the Odyssey 2-ball. Now, this is probably one of the most popular putters that have ever been created. A lot of players used it. To be honest, Harrington was one of the best players with the 2-ball. But for a beginner, brilliant, brilliant club, because as you will see, the 2-ball is exactly what it says on the tin. It has 2 balls on the club head. If you line the ball up with the other 2 balls, you know you are facing exactly the direction you want to putt in. The weight on it is...
I like that.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
They actually brought out a tri-ball too.
Really?
Yeah, it's massive. It's like a saucepan. But it was so good. Odyssey have such a variation of putters. It is incredible. But you'll also find a lot of other putters will have little markings to help you line the ball up. There's just so many, again, like there's just so many clubs out there.
I really like that though.
But the Odyssey 2-ball is fantastic. And the face is a little softer. Well, you can get different variations of the faces with the white
So this is a great
heart.
starting putter,
Great starting putter. Again, it goes down to what you're comfortable with, what you like the look of. If you don't like the look of the clubs you're hitting, normally that's not a good thing.
Yeah.
You've got to be comfortable in what you're hitting. Also, when it comes to putters, you will get different shapes and sizes. This is called a mallet putter. You can also get a blade putter,
So this is a
It's
mallet
preference.
putter.
This is a mallet putter.
Okay.
A blade will just be a single strip.
So you know the Scotty Scheffler change. What did he change from?
I think he was a blade putter.
Yeah.
And then he went to the Spider, and now
Which
he
is a
doesn't
mallet.
miss, which is a mallet putter.
Okay. So I'm about to go out for a round of golf. Russ, you're going to assemble my bag and tell me what I need to use at every step. So starting off with my driver.
You are going to use this off of the tee. You will tee this up and you will hit this on most tee shots, par 4s, par 5s, even par 3s. Don't be afraid to hit the driver if you need to.
My 3-wood.
3-wood. Again, if driver's failing, don't be afraid to tee this up. And also, those longer shots, don't be afraid to hit this off the deck, off fairways or rough. It is designed to help you with that little bit extra head compared to the irons to hit through the shot.
Right, my 7-8 and my 9-iron.
7-8, 9-iron. Again, if these are failing, hit the 7-iron off the tee. Get comfortable with hitting the middle of the face, just getting a bit more consistent. But these are probably the most essential irons that you could put in a golf bag.
My pitching wedge and my sand wedge.
Pitching wedge and a sand wedge, they are also very, very essential. Round the greens for those shorter shots, bunkers, chipping.
And finally, my putter.
The wand.
The wand.
The wand, the Odyssey 2-ball wand. Well, we all know, well, you don't have to. You can put it in with the wedge, but I wouldn't suggest it. That is what brings home the bacon.
Yeah.
Putting the ball in the hole with this beauty in the bag.
And that's it, we're ready to go.
There's your 8 clubs, 8 essential golf clubs for your first round of golf.
And I guess my final top tip is golf balls.
Oh yeah, make sure you take some golf balls because you've got to hit them round the course. And you're probably going to lose a few, so don't worry about it. Get there, get some lake balls if you want. Just find some golf balls, put them in a bag, put enough in there, and go and have some fun.
For more golf equipment videos, then head to the Golfbidder TikTok, Instagram, or Facebook page, and please, obviously, drop a like or a comment
And a
on this
subscribe.
video. And obviously, remember to subscribe to the page.
Otherwise, you're going to miss all our other videos.
You are. But that's it for this one from me, Beth.
And me, Russ.
We'll see you at the next video. Enjoy your round, guys.
Get out there and enjoy it.